Hello everyone, it's Lord Magicus, and this is the final round for Mono Blue Devotion and Pioneer. So, we are on the draw. This is Aplap. Okay. So, this hand looks like it's probably fine. It's got a nice curve to it. I think we're keeping this. So we've already made our money back in this. Let's see if we can do even better. Alright, I will keep this. They're keeping 7 cards, so let's see how this goes. This looks like we're up against Niv Mizzet again, I'm assuming. Let's put Island in the bottom. Master's gonna help us, like, just crush them, hopefully. Right? Forest, Island, Mountain. Yeah, that's rug colors. That has to be Niv Mizzet, right? Growth Spiral. Interesting. Is this like a Reclamation deck or something? No, I mean, it's some sort of Uro deck. I mean, I don't know. Like, this isn't enough to tell me. Maybe this is like Wilderness Reclamation. Right, they got banned from Standard and Historic. It's still legal in Pioneer, so we could be up against something like that. If it's a Reclamation, then they probably have a lot of red removal, so that means that Master's probably very good. That's my assumption. But they also could just be like a Niv Mizzet deck. I think I just attack for 1 here. Oh, fuck. You know what happened? I know. That's the same Master of Waves that we already put on top, isn't it? Oops. Well, yeah, we scried it to the top and then... Alright, so yeah, we're not drawing another Master, so that's worth noting. So we had one on top of our deck from this, and then we played Oracle, and it looked at the Master plus 1 card underneath it. And this is Pilgrimage. I cannot deal with this. So this looks like this is probably like a Field of the Dead deck with like Wilderness Reclamation, I imagine. Maybe it's just like a green ramp deck. Or it could just be like Uro ramp. Like, this could just be being played because it's a cycle land, but... That's sort of nice. Which means we need to, like, do something quickly before shit goes really far south. So let's see, they're at 6 mana right now. Alright, well, let's do this, I guess. Try to kill them before we find out. So we have, like, lethal in play, so... Sanctum. Okay, so this has to be, like, Ulamog or something. Okay, excellent. Well, we won game 1, so... They were not fast enough to outramp Master of Waves. So, okay, so this tells me Growth Spiral, and this means probably Uro in this deck, and probably stuff like Ugin and, maybe Karn. I'm gonna say that Mystical Dispute is probably good. Because we might want Dispute to counter the ramp spells. But I mean, even just countering like their giant threats they're gonna play is probably fine. Master of Waves looked good there, but they also didn't play Field of the Dead, which wait, no, Field banned in Pioneer, isn't it, right? So they don't have that. This just has to be like ramp, so. Ballista is also banned, so they might not have a lot of good answers to Master. So what should we take out? If we want Mystical Disputes, I want to keep the counter spells against this deck. It's not really much I want to take out. I feel like I need these. Maybe this is not the match for Baron. I feel like there's not much against them I want to be bouncing. Maybe Brazen Borrower's fine. So I can cast it at flash speed. Take out one Fae of Wishes. Okay, let's try it like this. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like the counter spells are going to be important. They're going to play, maybe they'll play like Nisa or something, and we can use like a 3-mana cancel to just get there. It's kind of weird how this deck submitted just like just raw text. Okay, so this is basically the same hand that we had last time. And we're still on the draw here. They mulled to 6. Alright, I'm going to keep this. I think just keeping the aggro hands against this deck is probably a good way to beat them. We can just put enough pressure on them and kill them before they cast their ramp spells. That's good. And we have a very strong curve into Master Waves. 2 into 3 into 4 is certainly an option. Or I could just play Brazen Borrower again. And I like the idea of playing Master... Oh, that makes this much better. Now I can play this Trickster into Borrower and still hold up the counter magic. Okay, so they're probably going to Growth Spiral on my turn. So, just pass here. So I want to play Trickster almost definitely. They didn't even play Growth Spiral, interesting. Okay. Okay. We're at 4. So if they don't do anything relevant, I'm just going to play Borrower. Otherwise, I'm going to counterspell. I could play the Witching Well here, but that commits me to having to play the Wizard's Retort, and I have no chance to play Borrower if they didn't do something, so... Like, I think maybe here I play the Witching Well. So I probably need to dig for more counterspells. No. And no. This lets me play like Master Waves or Gadwick next turn as necessary with a bunch of devotion. So I'm definitely playing like Brazen Borrower. Cavalier of Thorns, I'm not really a fan of this card. Fabled Passage, Arboreal Grazer, Emrakul the Promised End. Yeah. Well, that's not good. At least Emrakul's in the graveyard, but they might have another one. I don't really want to bounce this Cavalier of Thorns. I just want to get Devotion in play. That's actually really good. So let's see. I have access to 5, 6. I could play Gadwick. I think I want to play Trickster and then Master Waves. I could play Trickster and then I have 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. Like Gadwick and draw 4 cards. That actually might be the better line. Problem with that though is that even if I draw something relevant, I'm not going to be able to cast it next turn. Whereas next turn, if I play Gadwick and then draw a bunch of cards, I can potentially like draw something and cast it. So Master's probably better this turn. I just need them not to play like Emrakul or Ugin or something there's some nonsense like that. Alright, so is there any advantage to I can leave up 1 mana this way, or if I play the Trickster first, so yeah, 7 mana, so then I activate Nykthos for 7. I don't have enough to do both things, so no matter what, I'm going to end up with 3 mana I'm not using, so So 5, we'll play Trickster first. And then cast Master. Does this still bluff something in my hand for 1 mana? Okay, well, let's see if we can do this here. Okay, so we have creature, land, planeswalker, sorcery. This might be Emrakul. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, that's not good. That's bad. Ugin means that we basically lose. We can't beat... Yeah, we could not, like, beat them having this, so... I guess if I play Master of Waves, right... Well, they're just going to tick Ugin up and kill it, so... I just have to play this and draw 2 cards. Yeah, we're dead. Like, if we were on the play, I think we could have got there, but, like, on the draw here, that was too slow. So now I need to draw, like, a bounce spell for this Ugin. And, like, oh, that... Yeah, we are just super dead. We can't beat that too, so that's whatever. Alright, so they do have something like, yeah, alright. The disputes are probably relevant. I don't know if we need Thassa here, actually. Thassa might be a little bit slow. Actually, no, we do need Thassa because of the Hornet Queen, because that's the only way we have to push through that, so... You know, we have to keep Thassa. Alright, I guess we just run this back and pray that we have a good opening hand. I guess we keep this? It sort of does a thing. They also kept 7 cards. Okay, I'm just hoping that Master Waves is going to kill them fast enough. Those are not bad cards by any means. Thassa would give me something to play into Master of Waves. Mystical Dispute might be more important, though, if we need to hold up a counterspell for something. This is a really tough choice. So then I could hold up the Gadwick and then draw some cards with it. Well, if I take the Dispute, then maybe that... Ah, this is really close. It's definitely between these two, so... Maybe the counterspell is just more important here. So we probably... Like, I think that we're ahead. So as long as we don't, like, you know, do something stupid, like, this should be enough to win. Like, I don't even necessarily need to play Master right away. Ugh. That means Nisa could be coming out next turn. Oh god. What happens if, like, Nisa's a thing? I guess we're just passing. And we're gonna hope that this Mystical Dispute does something. It's not good. I need them to tap out big first before I can make a move. Okay. It sort of helps. So let's see. I still can't really do anything though. I have 3 cards in hand. I don't have anything to play at flash speed. If I play Thassa, I can't use this right now. If I draw another land, I can do it next turn. I can play like Thassa and still hold up this dispute, but I need them to play like Ugin or something. Because the problem is like, okay, they only have 6 mana here, so that's actually helpful. That is also maybe helpful here. So alright, we have to think about this. So I have 4 devotion, so this lets me play Master Waves. And then I can play this Nykthos, right? Or if I take the islands, that could also be fine. Take the islands, that basically does the same thing. I'm gonna put Nykthos on top and the island on the bottom. Alright. Pass. So they don't have any more mana, it looks like. Actually, turn off auto yields. Yeah. Can't let that resolve. I'm probably going to crack one of these Witching Wells at the end of their turn. So I have 5 devotion right now. So if they play Ugin, I at least have a chance to draw something. Alright, well, we need to have Wizard's Retort on top right now. No, that's not even going to work. Alright. Literally, this doesn't work. Alright, well, they had like 2 big threats and we just didn't. Yeah, the problem, like, at any point if we like tapped out, they just killed us, so yeah, this is terrible. Yeah. What did they find with this thing? Oh, they didn't actually use it. Okay. It's worth noting. So they have to either... Okay, you know what? This is fine. We might be able to kill Ugin here. We only have 2 cards left. So what can happen is... Alright, we're not out of this yet. Because I can play Trickster and then play Gadwick on my turn. So they can take it up to 5, but I can still put 5 devotion in play. That's fine. Okay, so the land doesn't do anything here. Yes. So we have a wizard in play. We'll have 2 wizards in play, so I can draw 2 cards. So Nykthos isn't really doing anything here. Don't fuck this up. Alright, Ugin, his face. So if he just has like lands, then we actually can like kill him. And we're protected from another Ugin now with this Wizard's Retort. Oh my, we might have this. We're close. The retort off the top was big. Yes. Okay, so you're gonna sacrifice this thing. Booyah! I bet they wish they had sacrificed it now. Yeah, I think I do want that actually. So how do I lose here? Alright. I don't think this matters. Forest is not enough. Are you shitting me? You had 3 Ugins in a row? Well, I'm sorry, opponent. Hold on. Oh. Let's play around another mystical dispute. Yeah! We beat 3 back-to-back Ugins! Looks like cancel mode was good enough, so... Well, we went 4-1, so we had a very rough start against the Sultai Delirium like deck, but came back strong against like a lot of the other heavy hitters in this format. Like, what was it? Burn, and then what did we fight after Burn? The Phoenix deck. Yes, and then after Phoenix, it was Green Ramp, I think, and or what was it? No, it was Delirium, Burn. Come on, I know this. Niv Mizzet. Oh no, Delirium, Burn, Phoenix, Niv Mizzet, and then the Green Ramp. Okay, so there we go. So I mean, those are definitely not insignificant decks, and I expect to see a lot of them in the near future. So yeah, despite our rocky start, and despite, you know, not even like using this annul at all, this basically could have just been any 4 random cards, and this would have been fine. We didn't even like use like these for the most part. So yeah, no, 4-1's pretty good with this. We got to see play out of basically everything here too. So Baron was like super good against the Burn deck. We got to play at instant speed with Leyline, bounce Master Waves, recast Master Waves, get a million more tokens. Fae of Wishes, we got to see some action out of it. You know, like wishing for a Cyclonic Rift to push through enough damage. I don't know if maybe this mass manipulation is the thing that we want or not. I think it's worth keeping for right now, but this slot could be something else potentially. But it does represent like a way to win the game. Like, it's also possible like we might want another one of these Ugins, but with only 3 Fae of Wishes, maybe not. I don't know. Because I think we did cast one against Delirium, I think, and then they got rid of it, and we didn't have another one to like attempt it again. But I don't. Maybe one's fine. I don't know what we're doing with these 4 slots yet. It's gonna depend upon how this metagame shakes out. So, yeah, I'm not sure, but probably this card is not necessary anymore. I think we are gonna keep the disputes. These seem like these are pretty good. So. Everything, yeah, the rest of these cards are fine. Maybe Damping Sphere could come out. Like, we could have something else. Like, Tidebinder Mage seems like it could be pretty fine. Aether Gust could be pretty fine. There's a few options, so... yeah, probably not a Null. The Null seems like it's not great. I'm pretty impressed with this. I think we're going to continue to play with Baron. He seemed like he was fine. being able, yeah, like having more bounce effects in the deck is fine, and like, yeah, bouncing Master Waves was like super awesome. So there's also like lines. I think we, attempted to bounce Oracle with it. It does some pretty fun things. We were okay with just 3 Gadwicks. I don't remember if we ever got to like pick up Gadwick with this, but I think this was okay. I can live with just 3 of these because like Fae of Wishes is the same kind of like end game threat that like Gadwick is once we have like 1,000,000 mana. Even like Witching Well is like enough card advantage to sort of make up for missing the 4th one of these. I think we have enough ways. Like once we get the engine going, we can draw tons of cards. We're only really worried about like mass board sweepers that we can't deal with. Stuff like Supreme Verdict or stuff like Teferi that like turns off a lot of our instant speed interactions. So like, it just undermines Leyline and our counter spells and like Brazen Borrower and Trickster and whatnot. So how else could we like deal with that? I don't know. There's a couple ways. Like maybe there's a possibility that we play something like Cloudfin Raptor. Like that card is definitely. Hold on, let me put Pioneer on here. We'll take a quick look through here. I mean, there's some stuff. We might want Cerulean Drake if Burn becomes like a big thing. Like Harbinger is always fine. Tidebinder Mage is fine. I think Aether Gust is probably a card that we do want in the sideboard, though. This card, especially if Uro is going to be a thing, like this hits a lot of the problem cards for us. Stuff like Nisa, Uro itself, obviously, but also like Niv Mizzet. This does enough, and basically all the burn spells are fine. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this is definitely a card that we look at for replacing some of these. Oh yeah, and it also like gets rid of a Phoenix, which is nice. So you can just put it either on the top or bottom of the deck. So it does some the Sprite Dragon, that's actually pretty fine against that. Once they invest a bunch of counters into it, like it doesn't do anything anymore, which is cool. Is there anything else? Like we could start playing Tempest Jin again, but I don't know where we would find slots to play it. I kind of like all the cards that we have right now, so I mean, other than that, like, there's not a whole lot that I have on my list of stuff I want to play now. Probably just Aether Gust. Yeah, we definitely want to take out these rivulets and just play like more islands or something. Like, yeah, we have no need to play rivulet in our deck once we once the inverter's gone. So we're fine. We're past that point in the metagame. Like inverter's been banned, so basic island is just better. Maybe even like another Castle Vantress or 2. We don't end up using this a whole lot. Usually we have other stuff to spend our mana on, like Fae of Wishes or Gadwick or Thassa, even like Witching Well. So it's not that big a deal, but I think 2 is a good number. You really just want enough lands that come into play untapped that make blue mana on turn 1. So the more basic islands you play, probably the better. And I still think we want to keep Oracle in this list, just because if decks like Red and Mono Black are going to be a thing, we need to like play around stuff like Wild Slash. Even Phoenix is probably going to play Wild Slash a lot. So stuff that doesn't die to that, so like our X3 and our X4, great. And against Mono Black aggro, like they're attacking with a bunch of like 2/1s for the most part. So having creatures that can block them without dying is always nice. So I like this complement of creatures here. So yeah, otherwise I think this list performed like about as well as I wanted it to. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I think we will see more of this. Yeah, like I said, we just clean up the sideboard and probably just play some like Aether Gust and maybe something else. But for the most part, like I said, this is good. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. So please give me a thumbs up if you did. I'm totally happy to hear what you have to say. Have you been playing Pioneer, like, since the announcement? Like, how many of you have actually dipped your toe back into the waters? I think that, the last 3 matches, like, if we play up against a bunch of decks like that, like, I think that's better than playing against combo decks all the time. So I would much rather face those sort of things than to have to play against, like, Inverter or Breach or whatever. There is going to be, like, there is a version of Breach that still exists, and it was like a Twiddle Storm variant that existed before Underworld Breach got printed, which we could still see some combo like that, but I think that it's manageable. Like, it's not that big a deal. I think the message has been pretty clearly received. A lot of the combo players are just salting off into the abyss. Like, they're pretty pissed off, like, judging by the comments I see on the Reddit for the Pioneer MTG. So, and you know what? That's fine. But they can be upset. But the format health has to come before your own personal preference in playing decks. And the format is not healthy when it's like so unfun that nobody wants to play it, and like you're firing less events than Vintage. So that's the long and the short of it. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed this. I'll play some more with this. So feels good. Another 4-1 that puts us back ahead with some prizes. So keeps us going for free, which is nice. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again next time. Take care.